my name is Sange. If you've seen my previous videos on my jaw surgery experience and have been waiting for an update for all this time, I sincerely apologize for the long wait. If you're new to my channel, thank you for being here. I would highly recommend watching my jaw surgery experience part 1 and part 2 linked here. This would make a lot more sense if you watch those first. I've compiled frequently asked questions that I pulled from comments from you guys on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. But first, I want to share a little history between TMJ and myself. This long-term relationship has been long, and I'm so happy it's done. Starting off when I was born, I was told that I was born with misaligned skull bones, and that was what caused TMJ originally. Between the ages of 8 and 9, that's when I started my very extensive dental work and orthodontics treatments for my TMJ. The first orthodontist I went to was this local orthodontist in upstate New York. I had the whole shenanigans of the headgear, the retainers for the top and bottom, the retainers for just the top, and then braces. It was years of treatment, and at the end of it, they told me that they were not able to align my jaw, but they were able to straighten my teeth. That wasn't the main purpose of me going originally, but I had straight teeth. At age 12, I went to another orthodontist in New York City. They claimed they could do non-surgical TMJ treatment. And so I got braces again, wore them for 2 years, and after completing the treatment, they told me they did the best they could and that I should consider doing orthognathic surgery and that I should do it before I turned 25. So I didn't want to get surgery. A year or two later, I got my wisdom teeth removed because they were not growing straight, and I heard that it could possibly help TMJ, so I was hoping it was a two birds with one stone situation. It wasn't until I turned 23 or 24, around that time, that's when I started noticing the migraines and the locked jaw and the jaw pain and the discomfort. I knew that this could potentially cause shoulder pain and hip pain in the future, but I was in my 20s and I didn't want to care about it. At age 25, that's when it got so painful and uncomfortable that I could not ignore it anymore. And that was also the cutoff point. So I started researching orthognathic surgery and looking for the right doctor to do this procedure. The more research I did, the more I understood the magnitude of the surgery. It's a surgery you can't do more than once in your lifetime, and this leads to 2020 when I finally did the procedure at age 26. The first question is the cost. A lot of people were asking me, how much did the surgery cost? It cost $20,000 USD, and yes, I paid it full in cash and myself. It was not a sponsored video or a collaboration. For a surgery this big, I did not want to play around. I really tried to find the best doctor, and I am so happy that I did that. It was worth every penny. Did your health insurance or dental insurance cover the surgery? No, I had to pay the full amount. It was also in Taiwan, and I'm not a citizen in Taiwan, but I don't believe they take insurance there either. It was a really small private office, so I don't believe they take health insurance. Are you a US citizen, and what made you go to Taiwan to get the surgery done instead of in the US? Yes, I'm a US citizen, and I chose to go to get it in Taiwan for multiple reasons. Number one, the procedure is significantly more expensive in the US. I think the lowest quote I got was $30,000. The second reason is this surgeon uses advanced technology. He explained that the blades have sensors that can detect nerves and know to avoid them. And this is huge. If you are looking into jaw surgery, you know that the chances of losing feeling is actually quite high. The third reason is because my parents live in Taiwan, and this was just one of those moments I really needed my parents around. It's kind of like returning to that childlike version of myself because it was scary, and I would not want to be alone during this time, and I wanted the most love, and my parents were there to give it to me. So definitely a big number 3. How long were you under, and what was the pain level after the surgery for you? I was under for 8 hours, and the pain level post-op wasn't too bad as long as I was taking my pain meds every 4 to 5 hours. In the beginning, the first 2 days, I really wished I could take my pain meds every 3 hours or even 2 because it was painful. It was uncomfortable, and especially not being able to breathe out of my nose, because even though they didn't do anything to my nose, the swelling here, the swelling wasn't just my jaw, but my entire face, or bottom half of my face. When the pain meds wore out, that's when it got really painful, but it wasn't too bad. It was doable. But then again, my pain tolerance is pretty high, so just, if you're gonna do it, it's gonna be uncomfortable for a week. I mean, a little bit longer than that, but the first week is the roughest. It's so worth it though. Just push through. The ice packs and the heat packs really help as well. I remember that helping ease the heat. In the beginning, my face was feeling super hot, and the ice packs really helped it cool down, and it helped me feel a little more comfortable. Have you ever done anything else to your face? No, jaw surgery was the only surgery I've ever done. Did your nose and cheekbones change by any chance? I heard when the front jaws move forward, it can cause your nose to widen or become more upturned, as well as higher cheekbones. This is a really great question, because when I was researching this surgery, I noticed this procedure often changes the shape of people's noses, and I did not want them to change anything about my nose. I asked my surgeon about this, if he could fix my jaw and not touch my nose, and he said there is another way to do it. Often people just do it the normal way, which does affect the shape of your nose. He said there's another way, which means that I'll have to sacrifice some of my upper lip. I was okay with that, because I was like, just don't touch my nose. You can sacrifice some of my upper lip. So that's what he did. So my nose is exactly the same. I think it's because my jaw was pushed back that my nose shape looks a little more different. It was swollen for a long time. It was very swollen for a long time. That's probably why it looked a little different. How painful was it? What was the most painful part of the recovery? The first week is very uncomfortable and painful. I'm not gonna lie, it was painful the first week. But after that, it gets so much better. In the beginning, it was just so uncomfortable because I couldn't breathe out of my nose. The swelling caused my nose to just get all stuffy, and breathing out of my mouth was hard because my teeth were sewn shut or rubber banded shut. And in the beginning, the first few days, the painkillers were just not lasting long enough. Like I mentioned, I wanted to take pain meds every 3 hours, and I had to wait till 4 or 5 hours. In general, the most painful part was the first week. It was uncomfortable, it was painful, you needed to have a lot of patience with yourself. It's all worth it at the end, but oh my gosh, going back to that, oof, that was tough. But so worth it. What's the feeling when eating or talking the first 2 weeks? Eating was weird, and I wasn't able to eat anything until a month. So it was a liquid diet for the entire month. When I was able to start eating some soft foods, it was very strange, because my brain is like, we know how to do this, we know how to chew, but then my muscles did not know how to work together with my jaw, so it was like retraining. It was like a baby learning how to chew again. It took a lot of patience, but yeah, it was weird. Especially because a lot of my face was numb. So I would be drinking something or eating something and just spilling down here. It wasn't cute, but it passes, and it was healing pretty quickly. Remember, every day was improving a little bit more. Talking became normal as soon as I got my rubber bands out, where I could open my mouth. Before, it was just kind of bound together, so I was talking like this. But then once I had the rubber bands out, I was able to talk pretty normally. I got some questions about whether or not it changes your voice. It does not. How long did it take until you got back the feelings on your whole face? I probably got 80% of the feeling back within the first month, and the rest 20% came back slowly over time, over the course of a few months actually. That was a little more stubborn at the end. It took some time for this sensation right here to come back. How long does it take for the swelling to subside fully? I was told that the swelling would take about 2 years for it to completely go down back to normal again, and that was pretty accurate, because the first year was most of it, but there was just some stubborn swelling right here that took another year after that to go down. What else did you eat or drink other than nutrition milk? Lots of broth, and gradually soups with thicker consistencies. And every day I would have a protein mix mixed with vitamins, spirulina. I also put some collagen powder in there and protein powder, so I was getting all the nutrients. It was pretty gross, but I got all my vitamins and minerals. Did you need to avoid any certain types of foods and drinks to avoid scars? Well, the scars are all inside between my gums here, so I didn't really get directions other than staying away from alcohol and caffeine, and also sticking to a diet that's filled with good fats, oils, and protein, all the necessities. Is there any part of your face still numb from surgery? Have you fully recovered all nerve sensitivity? It's been 4 years. I'm sorry again that I haven't updated you sooner, but I would say most of my sensitivity came back the first 2 years. Even today, there's a little bit of numbness here, but it's not like numb. It's just a little, it feels a little like, I don't even know how to explain it. It doesn't bother me. I can move everything perfectly fine, but I can feel a little, like a few tiny nerve cells didn't make it. But yeah, it's not bad at all. Were there other methods to get rid of swelling quickly? So I was told that everyone heals differently. It's hard to compare. Everyone's body is different. I can only share what worked for me personally. Using the ice pack and the heat pack religiously, especially in the beginning stages, I was almost using it 24 hours. That really helped with the swelling. And then afterwards, it just takes time. And I actually asked the doctor, I was like, is there any way I can get rid of the swelling faster? And he just said that after the first month, the swelling just takes a little longer to subside, and you just gotta be patient. And so that's kind of what I did. And thankfully it fully went down, but it took some time. Did you experience any skin sagging afterwards? Did you have to deal with any loose skin? Oof, yes. And it was so annoying. It was really annoying because I had jowls, and I think no one noticed it more than I did, but it was really frustrating for me because when the swelling went down, I had loose skin and it would just kind of go down right here. So I had a bit of a jowl situation. I was told that you don't have to do anything about it. It will naturally bounce back. But I guess that's why they recommend you doing the surgery before 25, because your skin has, I guess, more collagen and it bounces back faster. I don't know, but it was really annoying me. And that's actually when I started using a microcurrent device. I don't know how much it really helped me, but I started using it religiously. And as you can see here, it was quite a slow process, but I started using that and I think it helped. At least it helped temporarily, maybe superficially, but over time, I'm not sure if that's exactly what helped me tighten that loose skin, or it just, my body did it naturally. Can you feel the titanium metals they put in your jaw? No, I cannot feel them, thank God. And I also asked, like, will I set off the metal detectors if I walk through the airport with these titanium rods? And my doctor was saying no, laughing and telling me no, it's not going to. So I don't feel them. I kind of forget they exist, but they're there. Several doctors have told me that I will most likely lose weight due to my jaw being wired shut, so was eating a challenge? Eating was a challenge. Eating was a challenge. It wasn't because my teeth were wired shut, but it was because I didn't know how to use my jaw again. Like, I had to retrain the muscles to work with my jawbone. Chewing took energy when I was able to actually eat food. I wanted to be lazy and not chew, but I needed to also strengthen my jaw muscles. But yes, I lost 10 pounds initially during the first month because I was in a liquid diet. My teeth were wired shut for the first week, so I had to inject my meals, liquid meals, with a syringe through the cheeks, between the cheeks and the gums. And even when they took out the bindings, I was only able to open my mouth 1 to 2 fingers wide, so I was still on a liquid diet. Do you recommend the jaw surgery? Would you do it again if you didn't like it? Was it worth it in your opinion? Well, first of all, you can't do it again. This specific surgery can only be done once in your lifetime. At least that was what I was told. Hence, I was very scared going into it because they couldn't even tell me what I would look like afterwards. The doctor could show me what my bones would look like, but I was like, could you put some skin on there and tell me like what I would look like afterwards, since I can't do this again? And he said no. Thank goodness. I'm happy with the way my face looks afterwards because there was no going back. Was it worth it in my opinion? 1000%. I am so thankful that my 26-year-old self got the balls to do this, because I am living with no more pains, no more migraines, no more popping, jaw popping, locking, and I'm so happy that I don't have to deal with this ever in my life again. Were you scared of the surgery? Oh my gosh, yes. I was so scared. I was terrified, but I think no one could tell from the outside because I had this mask of just like, I've trained myself to deal with big fears in a very calm manner. On the outside. Inside, I'm freaking out. It was really helpful to have my parents there because they gave me so much of the emotional support, love being there. But I also knew that this is something that I need to do, and fear is just an emotion. And logically, we've done the research, we found the doctor, we know the consequences if I don't do this surgery, so it was one of those moments I just had to pray and go for it. Well, this wraps up the Q&A for my jaw surgery experience. If you have any more questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I hope this has been helpful for anyone curious or who is actually planning to do this procedure yourself. I commend you for it. You got this, and I'm here if you have any more questions. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.